There's a reason this video showed up in front of you right now, and it's not because your life is perfect. It's because something inside you knows it's not. You've been carrying a quiet heaviness for a while now, a sense that you should be further along, more stable, more confident, more certain. You keep thinking, why do I still feel this lost? Why does everyone else seem to know what they're doing while I'm still figuring out basic pieces of myself? And before you even say anything, let me tell you something. This video didn't find you by accident. It found you because you needed to hear what comes next. What if the reason you feel behind is because you've been measuring your life with the wrong timeline? For years, you've been living with this quiet pressure. This idea that by now, you should have more answers, more direction, more certainty. Maybe you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and there's a part of you that keeps whispering, you should have figured this out by now. But let me ask you something. Where did that expectation even come from? At what age were you told life finally clicks into place? When exactly were you promised that everything settles? Because here's the truth nobody ever says out loud. That moment doesn't exist. Let me tell you something about growth. It never looks like growth when you're in the middle of it. It looks like confusion. It looks like doubt. It looks like questioning everything you used to be sure about. It looks like the life you built suddenly not fitting anymore. You think you're lost, but all that's happening is this. You're outgrowing the person you used to be. And yes, on the surface, it feels chaotic. It feels like you're making mistakes, going backwards, learning lessons you thought you'd already learned years ago. It feels like you're the only one who still hasn't caught up. But that's the illusion. What you see on the surface is not the whole story. Let me explain it in a way that actually makes sense. Think about a tree. Above the ground, you see branches, leaves, the trunk. Above the ground, growth looks obvious. But what you don't see, the part that determines whether that tree survives storms, droughts, seasons of harshness, is the root system. Roots grow downward before anything grows upward. They expand in the dark. They thicken in silence. They strengthen where no one can see. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. But underground, everything is happening. That's you. Right now, your life on the surface might look messy. Maybe your career isn't clear. Maybe certain relationships are falling apart. Maybe your sense of identity is dissolving into something you don't fully understand yet. But underneath all that, there's a deeper current forming, a foundation strengthening, a direction slowly revealing itself. You just can't see it yet because growth is blind from the inside. You see chaos, but beneath that chaos, something steady is taking shape, something no one else can see, not even you. Here's another truth you need to hear. You're not supposed to have it all figured out by now. That myth was handed to you by society, movies, old beliefs, childhood expectations. They told you that adulthood comes with clarity, but adulthood actually comes with complexity, with nuance, with self-awareness, with the realization that the version of life you once imagined was designed by a younger you who had no idea what the real world feels like. And here's where it gets even deeper. Every time you feel like you're going in circles, repeating old mistakes, revisiting old wounds, questioning yourself again, it's not a circle, it's a spiral. You come back to the same lessons, but you're not coming back as the same person. You're coming back with more awareness, more emotional honesty, more ability to see what you couldn't see before. That's not stagnation. That's depth, and depth takes time, real time, not the artificial timeline you've been pressuring yourself with. Every detour taught you something. Every delay shaped you. Every wrong turn was silently eliminating paths that were never meant for you. You're not late, you're layered, and there's a huge difference. So let me ask you something real. What if you are exactly where you're supposed to be? Not because it's perfect, not because everything makes sense, but because this is the exact point in your life where the old version of you dissolves and the new version begins. What if this discomfort isn't a punishment, but a passage? What if you're not stuck? You're being shaped. Here's what I want you to understand. Deeply, not just with your mind, but with your whole being. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're not running out of time. You're becoming. And becoming is messy. Becoming is uncomfortable. Becoming asks you to let go of versions of yourself you once believed were permanent. Becoming asks you to walk through moments that feel like endings. But look at you. You're still here, still trying, still questioning, still growing, still reaching for a life that feels honest, even when it's hard, even when no one sees the battles you fight in silence. You're not meant to return to who you were. That chapter served its purpose. You're meant to grow into who you're becoming. Someone wiser, deeper, braver, more aligned with your truth. And if something in this video hit you, if something in your chest softened, if you felt even a small exhale of recognition, then I want you to go to the comments and write exactly this. I'm exactly on time. Because the moment you say that, you stop wrestling with the timeline you thought you were supposed to follow and start aligning with the one that was always meant for you. That's when the shift begins. When you stop resisting the current, that's when life stops feeling like a fight and starts feeling like flow. You're not late. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're evolving. And evolution always feels like chaos right before it becomes clarity. It feels like falling apart right before everything snaps into place. It feels like darkness right before the first hint of light returns. Trust the current. Trust the timing. Trust the version of you that's quietly forming beneath everything you're shedding. You're exactly where you need to be, not a second too early. Not a moment too late,